Hi guys, this is the Betamax Man and the Betamax Kitty. I'm going to come with you, say hi to everybody on camera. You say hi to everybody on camera. Okay. Yeah, she's a little shy. She's camera shy right now. So, here's what we're going to do. This, I believe this is going to be either the Sony Betamax that I ordered, or it's going to be one of the VHS machines that I ordered. And they're coming is a RCA Select Division VHS VCR that is from 1984. It had Dolby Stereo, audio dub, video dub, all kinds of stuff, and it's one of those portable slash permanent, units when it turns into a they call it the VCR convertible, but it basically slides out, and you can use it as a portable machine, or you can slide it in and it'll be a permanent machine. But I think this is the Sony, the Betamax. This is should be the Sony HF860D is the model number. Now, I used to have one of those, and it got ruined because at that time I was in the living in an RV a few years back for temporary situation. But anyway, so I was in the RV, and the roof was leaking, and the roof had leaked all over the inside of the machine, on top of the machine, and got inside, and it did some damage to the circuitry, so it just wasn't fixable. And it had another problem. It had a problem where it would had a capstan motor failure problem, and then the water problem didn't help it any. So with the water getting into it, and it was plugged in, basically done a lot of damage to the circuit board. So fried the circuit board basically, so it wasn't fixable. But I found this one for a decent price, and I gave him an offer, and he accepted it. I got this including shipping and everything. I think I paid $125, which is more than what I would normally pay. I usually try to pay under $100, including shipping, but because this model is something that everybody wants, this particular model is really nice. So let's take a look inside. Oh great, they used peanuts. I hate it when they use peanuts. This was listed as having a tape stuck inside, and it looks like the seller took his tape out, which kind of sucks because I was hoping to see what was on it, but I guess he took it out. I hope he didn't cause more damage, because when people mess around with these things and they're selling them for parts, they don't care that they you know, break something. If they destroy something in it, they don't care because they're just selling it for parts. A lot of people don't care anymore, and it's sad. But here she is, the HF860D, and mine, the one I had before, did not have the door. So I'm very happy to have the door. Usually when you find this model, it's always got the door missing. And these have an issue with the capstan motor, the Hall effect device. So the Hall effect device on the capstan motor fails on these, and what will happen is they'll play for maybe 1 to 3 seconds, and once the machine detects that the capstan is not moving, it goes into automatic shutdown. Now what it looks like to me is it looks like the cassette housing is messed up, so I'm gonna clean it and we're gonna plug it in, and we'll take a look at it here in just a little bit, and I'm gonna eat breakfast and we'll come back to it. Okay, so we're back now. There's a peanut. Okay, what I've done, I've got my test tape out. Okay, now I've also pushed the cassette basket back because the cassette basket was right in the middle here, so I pushed it back. So let's see if there's, okay, there's a power light, and let's just see why it was sold for parts of repair. This is the 711 B3 chassis. Now what happens on these is sometimes with the cassette housing, the posts that stick out for the gear to move the basket up and down, that post snaps off and breaks, and so then you've got it where the one side will not raise up, and so that's what happens to the 711 B3 chassis, and that happens quite a bit actually. Well, let's just see what's going on here. Okay, well, it's loading. Seems like it's working though. Yeah, seems like it's working. Let's eject. Wow. That's weird. That is really weird, guys. Seems to work. Doesn't seem to be anything wrong with it. Maybe he was told that it didn't work. Let's try. Rewind. Fast forward. Play. Let's hook it up to the TV and see if we get any signal going to the TV. So let's just hook it up. I'm gonna find out whether or not there's a picture. Most likely, I think this machine works. I think it's gonna have a picture, and I think it's gonna have sound, and I think it's gonna be fine. Alright, we've got it hooked up. Now we'll see what the picture's like. So it does work. We hit play. We got a picture, not a very good picture, but we have a picture. There's some graininess going on. A little grainy, a little bit on the grainy side. This one has automatic tracking, but also we can adjust the sharpness, which isn't really doing much. I've adjusted the sharpness of the picture, and it's not really making any difference. So, and it is tracking. This model has automatic tracking. This was one of Sony's higher end models. This is one of the higher end units. Now, no, this one didn't have 4 heads. It's a 2 head, but it has I think it's a 2 head model, I believe. It might be a 3 head because it does have slow motion, but I think it uses the digital effects to create that. So if we do what it does is it has digital effects. This has a digital processor. What it can do is so how the digital works, it's also got picture in picture, and because there's no tuner hooked up, it won't you know, have that. But okay, so how this works is it has a memory chip inside on the circuitry, and what it does is when you hit like a digital effect, like such as like when you're paused, it takes a snapshot of the video and saves it and displays it when you hit the pause button. So if we hit pause, you notice that it has perfect pause. It's got the best pause that you could ever have on a Beta, and the reason is because of that digital processor that it has. It's got a memory chip. It's all done in the circuitry, but it takes a snapshot of the picture when you hit the pause, and that's why it's able to deliver such a good picture quality when it's in pause. Also, some of the digital effects like the flash motion, the picture art, it's all done by the circuitry. But it's really, it's kind of a neat machine. You can zoom it in. You can just zoom. You can also zoom it in, and you can do, there's the effects. We got flash motion. We've got picture art, which makes it all pixelated. We have mosaic art, which basically just it's taking the image from the videotape and using computer circuitry to do that. So it's an amazing machine just because it has a lot of circuitry that does this kind of stuff. We also have stop motion. So there's stop motion, and if you hit it multiple times, it'll do this. So that's really cool. And we have multi-strobe, What it's doing is just taking mini pictures there. See how it's doing that? You could do it in, that one's gonna do it in like, what, 16 pixels, or 16 pictures? And because we have the 9 picture, as you can see, and then we have the 16, which is even more pictures. So it just keeps taking still shots. This kind of digital effect was basically done. Basically it was done so that you could have all these really cool digital effects. This is kind of a neat machine. I mean, I'm really surprised that this thing is working, because the guy said that that his tape got stuck or something in it. I don't know. So I don't know. Sometimes I do notice that sometimes these things will get stuck, and if you move one of the gears and manually get the tape out, and you can put it back in and it'll work again. And that's usually just lubrication issues. If your gears are, you know, the lubricant is dried up in them, and that can cause the parts to get stuck, and that causes the tape to get stuck inside. So we need to, you know, go through it and do some lubrication. But I'm going to put the white grease. This has got the green grease. Usually the green grease is okay. So it's usually, you know, the black grease that you wouldn't want, because the black grease kind of dries up and causes issues. But the green grease, the white grease, usually they're okay. But we'll take a look at it. We'll see why the I don't know why the image is, it's kind of grainy. It's not really, the graininess isn't really showing up too much on camera. And this is an old tape. This is a testing tape, but see that graininess? Look at all that graininess that's going on. So that, now you can see it. You can kind of see what's going on with the picture. So the picture quality is not that great. What I think I'll do is we'll go into the preamp, and we'll check some capacitors on in the preamp. I think we'll just eject it here. So it seems to work. So we're going to clean the heads, and you know, yeah, this is a two-head machine, but because of the memory chips and some of the circuitry that's in this machine, which allowed it to be able to have perfect pause or frame by frame, or, you know, this one doesn't. It has frame by frame in forward, but not reverse. But nevertheless, this is still a high-end unit, and these high-end units go anywhere from $300 to $500. Now, one of the things that this particular Betamax can do is it will play back the Beta 1S. It'll actually play back both the Beta 1S 5.6 megahertz and the 6.0 megahertz. So it'll play back any speed for the beta format, whether it's regular Beta 1, Beta 1S, or, you know, Beta 2 super or non-super, Beta 3 super or non-super, you know what I'm trying to say? So anyway, so this plays everything. It's only going to record in Beta 2 and 3, but at least it'll play it back. Now, myself, personally, I have a lot of tapes recorded in that Beta 1S mode, so it's always good to have machines that will have the ability to play back that recording. So let's go ahead and dive in, and we'll check out the head amp. We have the head amplifier out. So there's a connector here, and there's two connectors here and here, and those you unplug. So there's the wires that we unplug. There's another thing that plugs in, which is here's a chip. So that has to be put back into place as well. So I'm going to check the capacitors. These are probably either 10 at 47 or 16 volt at 47. So most likely these are the 10s, and I don't have any 10s, so I'll have to use 16s. But let's just see what one is bad, if there are any bad. Maybe there ain't any bad, you know, maybe, but I think there is, because the graininess in the picture. There's, you know, the picture's really grainy, so, and I tried it on different tapes, and I've all had the same results, with a little bit of a grainy picture right there, dead in the center. And I tried to adjust the tracking, because there are manual tracking knobs on this thing, and you can manually track it, and it didn't matter what I did. I couldn't get. So let's test these, and then we'll see if there's any that may need to be changed. They may not be open, but they may be heading towards that point. Capacitors can either be not working 100%, or they can go completely open. We're gonna test them. Like I said, I think these are 10s at 47, and I don't have any 10s, so we'll just do, I'll just put 16s in there, and that should be sufficient. You can go up a little on the voltage, but you don't want to go up too high. So I'm gonna go from 10 to 16 is not bad, but don't go 10 to like 25, because that's just way too high. So let's check some of these here. I'm gonna check the real small ones first, because those ones usually are the ones that go bad first. So let's just check and see. This one needs replaced. It's not completely dead, but it's getting in that direction. So let's test these other two, because these are going to the point where they're starting to go bad. Yeah, some of these are not good at all. Okay guys, it's extremely hot today. I would have a fan on, but I think the fan would be so noisy that you wouldn't be able to hear me talking, so. Alright, now we've got our iron nice and hot, so we should be able to be good to go now. So these are most likely 10s, and we'll see what they are. So let's start pulling them out, and we'll start getting them getting them going. So let's just pull. I have to change my tip as well. May not have my tip's not quite hot enough yet. There it goes. What I'll probably do is just go ahead and unsolder all of them and then pull them out, but sometimes doing that they'll fall out on you. I've had that happen where they fall out. I don't like this particular tip, but it's all I got right now. Alright, so we got those. Let's get this one. Let's pull this one out as well. I think this one is probably, yeah, it's right in there. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and just unsolder all of them. Like I said, we'll pull out these caps. Ooh. Ooh. Just got a smell of fish. That one was definitely needing to be changed, because that one was actually leaking. That was most likely, that was the one that was completely open. So, most likely that's what that one was. So we've got one in the center here. We've got 3 more to unsolder here. And then we'll just put the new ones in, and we'll start soldering those. just had to turn the heat up on my iron because I had the heat too low. That's why I was having trouble melting the solder. So I just cranked it up to, I was only at like 250 degrees, so I cranked it up to 350 degrees, and that'll definitely melt the solder. So when I go to put the new ones in, I'll lower the temp just a little bit on the iron, and then we'll solder in the new ones. So we'll just start replacing these, and let's just see what ones. Alright, let's just pull out. I'm going to pull out the, yeah, these are 10s. So this one is a 10 at 47. A little bit of a headache trying to get some of these out. This one's probably also a 10 at 47. And I'm going to put a 16 in there. But don't put any higher than that. Don't put like, don't put a 25 in there, because that's not good. So it looks like I'm just about out on the 47s. I'm getting pretty low on those, so looks like I'm gonna order some more here. Okay, let's put those in. Yeah, I'm gonna have to order some new capacitors, it looks like, so. Alright, these ones are nice because the leads have a shape on them to where they have a curve, and which is nice because that's easier to get the capacitors, and it keeps it from, you know, the pins from being pulled out. I just like them when they have this little curve. You see that little curve here? See how they're curved? I like those. Alright, now we don't got very many of these, do we? I hope I have enough of these to I just hope I have enough to do the head amplifier. Alright, let's. So this little one is a 50 at 0.47. Let's see. Out of those, let's see, 0.47. Oh, I don't have very many of those either. Yeah, I need to order some more online, I guess. And by the time I get new ones in. So I'm just going to go ahead and replace all of these. I don't think it's necessary for me to show me changing every single cap, you know. I just don't think we need to do that. This one's probably also a 0 at 47 too. See, I'm just going to make sure that they pull out nice. So this is a 50 at 0.47. Is that? Yeah. Yep. So that's a 0.47 as well. So I think I'm going to have to grab some of those as well. I don't have very many of those either, so kind of running out of stock on those too. Some of these out. We'll pull some new ones out here, and we'll just gotta pull out the sizes here that I need. So I need that one. Just make sure that when you're replacing these, that you put the leads in correctly. The negative and the positive, you have to get them in correctly. If you don't get if you put the positive and a negative, the cap will actually explode and blow up on you. So just be aware of that. If you hook them up backwards, you're going to blow the cap. Is it going to damage the circuit board? No. But it will blow and it'll make a nice loud explosion. And okay, so here's all the ones that we changed. How many caps is that? What? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 caps. And some of them were good, some were bad, and we had one that was completely open, and the one that smelt like fish was the one that was completely open. Okay, we've got the head amp back in place, so we've got it all connected, and so now we'll see, is there going to be any difference in the picture quality. And so let's just pop it in here and we'll see what we got here. That is actually having a little trouble dropping down. I had to kind of help it a little bit to drop it down into place. So we might check the lubricant, and it looks like maybe some lubricant has dried up, because it's having some issues pulling the tape in. So alright, let's see what the quality is. Oh yeah, much better. A lot better. There's no, you noticed how there ain't no, there's no line, you know, there was grainy. You can see where the picture was really grainy, but now it ain't. And I'm zooming in as close as I can get, and you can see there is no grainy picture. So if you turn that to on, the automatic stereo, switch it to on, and what that'll do is detect if the signal, the audio signal coming into the VCR if it's mono or if it's stereo, and it'll just automatically detect if it has stereo signal coming in. It's a nice machine, you know, it's a really nice machine. It's more of a higher end machine. It's just a really nice deck. And like I said, yeah, the 711B3 chassis, they did have an issue with the cassette housing where the posts, see this is a little post sticking out, and it sticks out so that the gear can move it up and down. So it has to be in that hole, and that gear basically moves up and down, and so that what allows the tape to go up and down. What I've seen is where the post will break off and then it won't lift the one side of the tape, and this was very common for the 711B3 chassis to have this issue. Other known issues with the 711B3 chassis is to have the bad capacitors on the capstan circuit board. On the circuit board for the capstan, the caps go bad, and that'll also make the machine play for 1 to 2 seconds and then stop. So either you've got a capstan problem with the actual Hall effect device, or you've got a problem with the capacitors mounted on the board. So those are some things. For a preventive maintenance thing, I was thinking about just go ahead and pulling the power supply and recapping it. But due to the fact that I ran out of 47 microfarad capacitors, I'm not going to be doing that because I have to order more. I don't have any more. I ran out of my 47 by 16 at 47, and I don't want to put a 25 in there because I think that would be just a little too high. That would be way too high on the voltage. So I'm gonna have to order some, and then I'll decide on if I want to change the caps. We're not changing them because it needs them. We're changing it for preventive maintenance to prevent it from having a problem later on down the road. So this one, the only thing I really had to do with this one is replace the capacitors and the head amplifier, which gave it a very good signal. Oh, see what it's doing? It's stuck. It is getting stuck. So the tape is getting stuck. So it does need to be lubricated. And we're gonna have to lubricate that cassette housing. Okay, so that's what's happening. It's just getting, the lubrication has dried up in the deck. But I have a very rare tape here. This is Forrest Gump on Beta. So it's very, very rare tape. I don't know. Right now there ain't no more of these. I got this off of Craigslist. A guy had it. It was he, I guess, special ordered it back in '93. And 1993, I think he said, is when he special ordered it on Beta. So we're gonna go ahead and pop it in. There we go. So we'll fast forward. This thing is having trouble now. The more I use it, the more the cassette basket is having an issue. There's the movie. There's the picture quality. It's extremely good quality. There's no defects or anything. This tape is in really good shape. I'm surprised how good a shape this tape is in, being, you know, from the early 90s. You know, I mean, this tape is pushing, what, pushing 30 years old, so, what, 93, 2003, 23, yeah, you know, it's an older tape, but it's still beautiful. And with the head amplifier been completely recapped, I mean, this is just really good quality picture. So before we exit the video, I just wanted to let you know that I cleaned the video heads, I cleaned the tape path, and now I'm comfortable with putting some of my other tapes in this machine. So I can put I can go from a test tape to a factory tape, or a tape that I'm comfortable with putting in. So I have a very rare tape, a very rare movie. I found this on Craigslist. This is a beta copy. This is a copy on beta, not VHS, but beta, as you can see. And then, oh yeah, I have the VHS as well. There's the VHS. But the VHS one doesn't have a label on the side like the beta one does. So I actually have it on both formats, which is cool. It's cool to have it on both formats. You can tell this is old because it's kind of yellow, so I think it's probably been in the smoker's home, but this was, I found this off Craigslist, and it was a special order. The guy who owned this said that he had to special order it that way, and you pay almost double the price as you would pay on VHS, because this was special ordered on beta. They stopped putting pre-recorded movies on beta tape in 1992. However, for an additional 2 years, you could special order the film on the beta format. It's just that it costs you more money. He said, I think he was saying that the beta tape was around $50 or something, and the VHS one was like, he said it was like $25, $30 for the VHS, but he said he loved the beta format, and he would special order from a video store. You'd have to go to a video store in order to special order films. Or you could look through, I'm sure they had catalogs that they could look through. Another thing that I thought was cool on this tape is the fact that it has special features at the end of it, which is the same special features that the Laserdiscs had. Most of the Laserdiscs one were widescreen. I don't see very many of the pan and scan Laserdisc Forrest Gump movies, but let's go ahead and show you the quality. So this cassette deck is having trouble going in and out for sure. Now we're at the beginning of the film. And this tape's in really good shape too. As you can see how clear the video is. I'm zooming in so you can see how clear the film is, but there's no more grainy picture. So, you know, recapping the head amp was a smart thing to do. That really improved the quality of the picture. And there is a sharpness control on here. Most of the Beta machines from the mid to late 80s had a sharpness control, and that would increase the sharpness of the image. The digital effects are really cool on this machine. But let's go ahead and we'll rewind it back to the beginning. We'll reset the counter. Yeah, so we'll fix the cassette basket in another video. But yep, there's the reset right there. So yeah, so I'm we're getting to the point where this thing is going to be sellable. This is definitely going to be one of those machines that you know, people are going to want to get. So we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.